Opium cultivation and production is an epidemic in Afghanistan, and the country is in danger of becoming a narco state. Since the fall of the Taliban in late 2002, opium production has steadily risen from near nothing to capture over 90%, 93% according to the UN Office on Drugs and Crime of the world's opiate trade. This affects rural farmers, government ministers, and everyone in between. By some estimates, opium revenues, all unofficial, illegal, and untaxed, account for half of the Afghan gross national product. At the cultivation level alone, the revenues exceed $1 billion, before the transport, refining, and export are tallied. Unfortunately, Afghanistan, as a country of localities, clans, and tribes, can witness the complete cessation of planting in one province, while next-door cultivation continues to grow at an exponential rate. In essence, the it-one single quotes to dash happen dash to dash me philosophy seems to have a hold on many poppy-growing communities. And as long as they drive away Afghan counter-narcotics forces through a combination of corruption and violence, statistically, they are correct. While the number of poppy-free provinces has risen, so too has the amount of opium produced. In 2007, opium cultivation has not surprisingly risen again, this time by 17%. And potential production by 34%. While over 80% of Afghanistan's opium is cultivated in the southern regions Helmand, Kandahar, Uruzgan, Daykundi, Zabiel, Farah, and Nimroz. The largest increases in yields have been in the central Parwan, Paktia, Wardak, Khost, Kabul, Logar, Ghazni, Paktika, Panjshir, and eastern regions Nangarhar, Kunar, Lagman, Nuristan, Kapisa, 123% and 23%, respectively. Additionally, it must be remembered that much of the opium cultivated and collected elsewhere flows towards Afghanistan's eastern border for refining and trafficking. Only Paktia, Paktika, Panjshir, Wardak, and Logar have reported no production for the last 2 years. Ghazni was hoped to be among that number, but recent disturbances in Andar district have made that questionable. Baiman, Parwan, Nuristan, and Khost are reporting they have achieved zero cultivation in 2007. There are 5 readily identifiable groups with interests in the production of opium in Afghanistan: farmers, middlemen, traffickers and refiners, insurgents, the Afghan government, and coalition forces. Some are profiting from it, some are hindered by it, and some find it creating schisms within their own ranks. As with illegal narcotics enterprises elsewhere, the cultivation and production of opiates in Afghanistan attracts the needy, the covetous, the pathological, and the sociopathic. Few, if any, opium producers are doing so in order to clear Afghanistan of non-Muslims or bring about a worldwide caliphate. But many may say so in order to gain acceptance from their demi-monde peers and avoid moral discord. On the opposing side, there is no disagreement that the narcotics industry is a serious problem, but the level of priority opium is exceeded is a subject of much debate. Further points of discord include the method by which the country is to be rid of opium, whether through eradication, a buyback program, or something else. Of course, as in any counterinsurgency, the center of gravity in Afghanistan is the rural masses, poor and often illiterate. Already over 10% of the Afghan people are involved in the opium trade. Any effort to end opium production in Afghanistan must incorporate their needs. The Afghan government stands firmly against the cultivation, production, sale, transport, or consumption of illegal narcotics. Individuals within the government may have differences of opinion, however, and corruption does exist. Eradication missions, carried out by anti-narcotic personnel, are alleged to have been targeted away from the fields of generous poppy growers and towards those of growers who failed to render their due. The corruption has included members of parliament, police, governors, border security forces, and a host of other positions. In some cases, those officials with particularly low salaries, such as Afghan National Police at US $70 per month. The U.S. has so far spent approximately $300 million to eradicate the crop since invading Afghanistan. 16. Some American officials have spoken of an eradication tipping point of 25%, when a quarter of all opium crops are eliminated. The average farmer will reconsider growing opium, and the decline of cultivation will begin. So far, coalition forces have made little progress towards that 25%. And by eradicating fields representing, in some cases, a farmer's entire annual crop, have only created more anti-coalition and anti-government sentiment. Compensation to those farmers affected has been attempted with some success. Opium in Afghanistan is a part of the pernicious troika of corruption, insurgency, and narcotics running down that nation. All three of the diseases feed off each other, and without an element of the others, none could exist. The challenge is to destroy, wean, or subvert the opium product coming out of Afghanistan without losing the support of Afghans, dependent on the billions of dollars it brings into the country. Opium farming in Afghanistan has dropped significantly following a ban imposed by the Taliban government in 2022, the United Nations said. The total area of land for growing opium poppy shrank 20% since last year, while the amount of opium has fallen by 32% over the same period, the UN's Office on Drugs and Crime said in a survey. Afghanistan used to produce more than 80% of the world's opium, with heroin made from Afghan opium making up 95% of the market in Europe. But after retaking power, the Taliban banned the practice in April 2022, saying opium was harmful and went against their religious beliefs. The UN said most farmers continued to observe the ban despite severe economic challenges. Many Afghan farmers are harvesting cereals, but poppy, from which opium, the key ingredient for the drug heroin, can be extracted, continues to be far more profitable than legitimate crops, the UNODC noted. Over 40% of available farmland has remained fallow because of the lack of profitable alternatives, limited agricultural outputs, and adverse climate conditions, it added. The total area under opium poppy cultivation this year was estimated at 10,200 hectares, mostly in the northeast of the country, with Badakhshan province accounting for the largest share. Before the 2022 ban, more than 200,000 hectares were under poppy cultivation in Afghanistan. 4 provinces with opium poppy cultivation in 2024 bulk, Farah, Lagman, Uruzgan, were declared opium poppy-free in 2025. The near elimination of cultivation from traditional strongholds illustrates the scale and durability of the ban on opium poppy cultivation, the survey said. The Taliban's efforts to destroy opium fields occasionally sparked violent resistance from the farmers, particularly in the northeast, the UNODC said, noting that casualties were reported during clashes in several districts of Badakhshan. But the vast majority of Afghan farmers adhered to the ban issued by the Taliban's supreme leader. However, farmers say they lack support to grow alternative crops as a result. They have to choose between poverty or punishment. What do you think? Thank you for watching and wait for our next video.